Welcome back to my channel, guys, and today I want to talk about 5 myths that guys believe that could be ruining your dating life. Number 1, that you cannot ask a girl back to your place on a first date. I don't know if guys say this because they believe that it wouldn't work. So there's like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Or that they don't have the confidence to do that. Or they think that girls aren't gonna like it and then therefore the date's gonna go badly. But the problem with this mindset is if you actually try it, it does work. Now you have to do it in a way that's appropriate and you're listening to the girl, of course, but there is no reason that if the date is going well, a girl would not want to go back with you. Now, I'm not saying you guys are gonna hook up and have a really intimate time. That's not always true. You guys could go back, have a drink at your place, and just make out, but you still asked her back. I think this myth comes from guys feeling insecure, not wanting to upset a girl, so they don't want to rock the boat. But then when you have this mentality, you're not actually leading. You're not actually being the masculine guy in the relationship. You're more worried that the girl is gonna be offended or she's not gonna see you again, and so you don't want to take risks, so you're gonna be more timid and allow her to basically lead. So if you're on a date with a girl and it's vibing hard and you guys maybe have already kissed, or maybe you're walking her out and you're about to go in for the kiss, you can always say, hey, I'm having a lot of fun with you. Do you want to go back to my place and have a drink? Super easy line. If she says, hey, you know, not tonight, I'm busy, whatever, you can still go in for the kiss, still go in for the hug, and everything's fine. But at least you had the balls to ask her back to your place. So if you haven't done this yet, you need to try it, because I'm telling you, most girls are totally down. Number 2, that men need to control everything on the first date. This is true to a certain extent, but there is also places where you can see if the girl is really interested and how much she is willing to commit to the date. Obviously, as a man, it is your guys' job to set up the date, to ask the girl out on the date, to, you know, check in, make sure the timing and everything works. Now, let's just say you live 40 minutes from the girl that you're about to go on a date with. You can set up a date close to your place. That's also a great place that you can pull her back after the date if that's something you want. But also it shows the level of commitment. If a girl says, no, actually I want you to come closer to me, or can we meet halfway? I would say that she's not super committed to this date. And the reason you want to test this is because girls are much more likely to flake on a date than a guy. Obviously, if you're doing all this work and then you drive 40 minutes to the date and then, you know, last minute she sends you a text and says, hey, I'm sorry, something came up, I'm not going to be able to make it, or she doesn't show up at all, you've just wasted and invested so much time and energy. Now, this is where you can see if a girl can actually invest some time, because obviously you're the one planning it, you're going to show up to the date, but let's see if she would invest that 40 minutes to drive down to your place. Now, I'm not saying if you guys decide to meet halfway, that's okay, but if she says anything less than that, it is not worth it. You should not go on the date with the girl. It's not going to end well because she's not following your lead. She's trying to control it. There needs to be a level of investment on both ends, and if you're not getting it, it's just not going to end well. Number 3, real men take girls on dinner dates for the first date. And it drives me so crazy when I see girls post like, if he doesn't have the balls to take me on a dinner date, if he's not gonna spoil me like a queen, like yada, 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 all this bullshit is literally bullshit. Because if a girl wants a dinner date and when you suggest drinks, that screams high maintenance, it screams gold digger, it screams she wants free dinner, it screams she doesn't want to get to know you. Like, that doesn't make sense. It's not that you're not willing to take a girl out on a dinner date, like most guys are. It's the fact that you need to build a rapport to make sure she's worth a person spending dinner money on. If you're the guy that takes a girl out to dinner every time you go on a first date, it's hard to build the sexual tension because usually you're sitting across from each other. B, you start to fall into interview mode, and then that's just not attractive. C, you're eating, it's like sometimes uncomfortable, like you're just like in this long conversation for like 2 hours, and you just dropped all this money on a girl you may never see again. Instead, go to drinks, and then you can sit next to each other, you can build that sexual tension, you can break that touch barrier, you can only have 1 or 2 drinks, then go for a walk, change up the environment, things don't get stale, you don't fall into interview mode, and it's just a better time. You really get to know her. And I think this is the big mistake and the big misconception. It's not that you wouldn't spend money on a girl, it's not that she doesn't deserve a dinner date, it's that you have to get to know each other now. In 2024, there is a lot of crazy people out there, and you have to weed out all the bad ones. ones. And hey, if you go on 2 or 3 dates and everything seems great, yeah, then take her out on that dinner date. But she does not deserve it for doing nothing on the first date. Like, you need to build that rapport first. So anyone that tells you otherwise, huge red flag. Number 4, that your friends don't play a role in dating. Now you may be thinking, Julia, like, why do my friends matter when it comes to dating? And it does, because if you're hanging out with lowlifes, losers, townies, people that get drunk every weekend, that don't have a mission, that are just kind of playing video games in their mom's basement, working the 9 to 5 they're not happy with, and those are the people you surround yourself, it's hard to say that you are a high quality man, especially when you start dating, because at some point, girls are gonna start meeting your friends. And if these are the people she's meeting, she is not gonna be interested in them. And therefore, she's gonna put you in a category thinking that you are like your friends, even if you're not. A lot of times guys don't even think that this is an issue. Like, I can't tell you how many girls I know that have been dating guys and then they meet their friends and they're just like, yeah, no, I like the guy, but like his friends are too crazy or whatnot. And like, they are judging you based on your friends, if you like it or not. And a lot of time, I think guys are friends with people that they've been friends with for so long. Maybe you guys went to elementary school together, or you high school bros, or you're even college bros, but your path kind of started going like this, and maybe your friend's path went like this, so you're not really in the same place anymore, but you guys have this history, your past, that keeps you guys still being friends. And look, I'm not saying go and get rid of all your friends, but you need to take a look in the mirror and be like, are these the people challenging me to be the best version of myself? And there is a quote that I love that says, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So think about that. If you're spending yourself time with like low quality guys, that's what you're gonna be perceived as. Now that you may be thinking, okay, Julia, like, yeah, my friends are townies. They're not necessarily the people I wanna be hanging out with, but I don't know where to find like-minded guys on their mission trying to be better. So that's why we created Beast Nation. It's literally a community of guys that are trying to take their life to the next level, to be those high value guys, to literally get their finances, fitness, dating life all under control. There's a whole course in there going over all of that stuff, but I think the most important part is the community aspect of all these like-minded guys that are trying to build themselves up and be the best version of themselves. What's really cool about Beast Nation is you can find where people are located. You can look at this map and it will tell you all the people near your area, so you have a wingman to go out with, you have someone that can push you to do your challenges, anything you need, like, you can have the community of people right there. And on top of that, you have access to me in the Discord. I'm there chatting with you, answering any questions that you have, along with all the other people, over 1,000 guys that have already joined Beast Nation. So if you finally want to take your life to the next level and be part of a group where everyone's leveling up and trying to be the best versions of themselves, click the first link in description and join now. Number 5, there is no good girls left on the dating apps. Oof, I hate this. I hate this so much because this is a cop-out. It's just an excuse not to use the dating apps, or that you've had bad experiences in the past, or you're matching with low quality girls. So that's what you think is out there. There is plenty of high quality girls out on those dating apps. I know a lot of my friends that are on them, but they are very selective. And if you don't have good photos, if you don't have good pictures of yourself looking like a high quality man, if your profile's not done right, she's not gonna swipe on you. So of course you're not gonna see these high quality women. So, but when you start leveling up and your photos get better, your profile gets better, that's when you're gonna start seeing the high quality women out there. So if you're somebody that's been using this excuse, or you've heard someone say it and that's the reason you're not on the dating app, you are leaving so much on the table. This is where we are going in 2024. Everyone is on the dating apps. This is where people meet each other now. It's not like back then when you'd walk into a bar and there she is, there's your girl of your dreams. That's not how it is. Now I'm saying this is a tool. It can help you meet amazing girls, but it's not the only thing you should be doing. I highly recommend you're still going out and you're approaching, you're going to the gym and making those approaches and things like that, but using the dating apps to, you know, get on dates and have practice with it, there's nothing wrong with that. And number 6 is that you have to instantly have a spark with someone. I don't believe that there is a spark with every single person you're meant to be with and that you feel it right away and you just know. I think that over time, those are the things that develop. You start seeing green flags or red flags, and that's when you kind of start making your decision. I think the people that feel the spark at first are people that jump into relationships too quickly, are the ones that wear their heart on their sleeve. They're on these emotional roller coasters, so unless they feel something immediately, then it's not right. And I don't necessarily think that's a good thing. I think it's good to go into a situation where you're hanging out with a girl and you're being a little bit more skeptical. You're like, I want to see her prove me wrong kind of thing, or than being like, do we have this spark? I have to feel this. And again, I think this is also true for women who have been in like abusive relationships or had past trauma, because they're used to those emotional highs and lows, highs and lows, highs and lows. So if they're not getting that high right off the bat, they're like, oh, this isn't it. I'm not getting the spark. But in reality, you might just be like a normal guy, and that this could be like a really healthy relationship. She just doesn't know what that looks like. So if this has happened to you, you were in a bad relationships in the past, maybe you were cheated on or something happened, and that you're feeling like you're always on that emotional roller coaster as well, and that's what you're kind of looking for, take a step back and realize maybe that's not the healthiest thing. It's okay if you don't feel the spark on the first or second date, but if you're enjoying spending time with them, if you're thinking about them, that is also a really good sign. Thanks for watching, guys. I will talk to you in the next video.